Have you ever just walked into a room and felt the sudden change in the air? Not just because of something you said, but maybe because of the way you looked, the color of your skin, your appearance. We like to say that we don't judge a book by their cover, but the harsh reality is sometimes we do. Before a person even opens their mouth, we decide their whole entire story, which is not fair to them. When I moved to Richmond, Virginia, I wasn't just the new kid. I was a white girl from a different neighborhood, someone that stood out. I was extremely monitored, and I quickly learned that when you don't fit the visual mold, people don't just see you, they label you. I was zoned for a school with over 300 students. Majority of them was African American. There were a total of 3 white students and 1 white teacher. And he always seemed to be terrified. No matter who was in his classroom or who wasn't in his classroom, he always seemed scared, like he was out of place. Which is how I actually felt as well. His his feelings was all over his face while I kept mine bottled inside. I felt like an outcast from day one. I could feel the whispers. I saw the stares. I was being labeled by the way I dressed and the color of my skin before I even sat down at my desk. It had gotten so bad that I remember leaving school one day and crying on my way to work because I wanted to know why I was the invisible person, why I was being labeled without anyone even giving me a chance to be heard. I was judged without even speaking, just because of the color of my skin and how I dressed. That day at work, I ran into 2 seniors that went to my school. One looked at me as if I had a third eye. I felt embarrassed. I felt judged. I wanted to run away and hide. Till the other senior looked at me and asked me how things were going at school. I was honest for the first time since I had been in that school and told her I felt like a total outcast. That I had no friends, and it seemed as if everyone was scared to talk to me. Another coworker overheard me and asked me a question that stopped me dead in my tracks. Something I never thought I would ever hear someone ask me. Have you ever even hung around black people before? What kind of question is that to ask? I worked at a daycare with black kids or mixed kids. My siblings were mixed. I informed her, of course, my siblings are mixed. I go to an all black school. Just because I don't look black or I don't look mixed does not mean I've not been around black people. Is that an issue? She told me I looked as if I was a privileged white girl in a black neighborhood. Told her I like to have my hair braided, and I normally kept it braided. I just didn't know anyone around that knew how to braid a white person's hair and actually make it stick. We decided to try an experiment. That night she braided my hair, and over the course of the weekend I went to the mall. I bought new clothes, new shoes, and even gave up my classic French tip design on my nails for a more bold, exotic design. I wanted to see if I could buy a seat at the table. That following Monday, I found it actually worked. Suddenly, I was being introduced to people and making friends. People who were scared to talk to me are now smiling in my face. I had finally gotten in the way I wanted, or so I thought. But see, here's the part that really stayed with me. I felt like a fraud. Why, eventually, I made friends and I realized a lot of us lived in the same neighborhood. I hated that I had to mask who I truly was just to seem approachable. My grades stayed up, however, my self-esteem took a hard hit. I wasn't me. I was somebody that I pretended to be just to make friends, just to seem like I could fit in. By doing that, I accidentally confirmed that the stereotype we couldn't bridge the gap by being just ourselves. That experience in Richmond taught me stereotypes are just walls that we build because we're too afraid to ask questions. I shouldn't have had to change my clothes, my shoes, or who I was to change someone's mind about who I really am. So here's my takeaway for you. The next time you see someone that doesn't fit your environment, don't wait for them to change. They shouldn't have to. Instead, change your perspectives. Because a person's worth isn't found in how they dress or how they look. It's not in their hair or their nails. It's not even the way that they walk. It's found in their story. The story that they're waiting to tell you. If you only take the time to actually listen to them. So thank you for taking the time to listen to me.